Like, this is always first shot. Like, this is perfect. Look at that. What's up everyone, and welcome to this exciting tutorial. You're going to learn how to turn any object into an epic product shot. You can literally do this with anything you find at home. I just used my phone, took a photo, and then turned it into an epic product shot. And of course, you can do this for your brand, for your client, to turn those products, those objects into epic shots, and then those epic shots into seamless transition videos, into epic bullet time shots, and then edit all of these clips together into an epic edit. So let's jump right in. First of all, I want to show you the project. I'm here in After Effects and I stitch everything here together because I really like After Effects. I'm using a lot of speed ramping for this type of edit, and the speed ramping in After Effects is just so smooth. And we can naturally apply motion blur here, which makes a big difference as well. But yeah, this is the project, how it looks. You can see here, I got a few speed ramps going on, but it's literally just stitching all of the clips together.
Shall he nestle it into the bosom of the L block? Or will he leave it room to grow?
And make everything flow so it looks like one continuous camera movement. So the first thing we need to do is, of course, take our photos. So I took a photo of this flower here, as you can see, of the paintbrush, the knife, and the wine glass. With those photos, that's all you need to start the edit. The next step is to create the prompts to turn those basic photos into epic product shots. And what I did is I just dragged the image here that I made, the normal shot, into the large language model of my choice. I'm using Claude AI here. You can also use ChatGPT or whatever you are comfortable with. And now I described how I wanted to change the image. Please write me prompt for Higgsfield Cinema Studio 2 to turn this image into an epic product shot in the same environment and lighting. I want the knife to stick into wooden kitchen board, and to make the shot more interesting, add floating elements, objects around it mid-air like vegetables, and make the board wet. So I just entered this prompt to get the prompt that I'm gonna use on Higgsfield Cinema Studio 2, which really works great. So that way I can just describe what I want to happen and get a good prompt out of it, which I can then throw into Higgsfield Cinema Studio 2. So let's fire up Higgsfield here. Link all in the description. We also added the link to the prompt sheet in the description if you want to check out the prompts that we are actually used for this project. So on Higgsfield, you want to go to the new Cinema Studio 2, which is here on the top. I'm going to start a new project. You can toggle here between video and image. We're going to start with image. Now here, I'm going to go with these settings. Those are fine. I'm going to upload my image that I want to change. So in this case, we're doing the knife. So I'm uploading the knife here as a reference. And I'm just copying the prompt that I just created and paste it in here. I'm always generating 4 images so I can pick the best one. The aspect ratio is 9:16. I want to go with 4K resolution for super high res. Yeah, you can play around here with the camera bodies and with the focal length and aperture, which is super good to have those options to actually select and choose camera body lens and focal length and aperture. But I'm going to stick with those settings. You can copy those or play around and then just hit generate. Meanwhile, I did all the prompts for the other shots as well. So let's say we want to do the wine glass. Please do the same for this shot. In that case, I want the wine glass to stay on the floor and orange liquid floating in the air with orange slices. That could be good. And add Aperol spritz orange liquid into the glass with ice and straw, and also make the glass look cooled and wet. Like those details I experienced make the final image just so much better. So we get our first results here, and I think those already look pretty sick. So here I went back and forth to describe more what I want. Yeah, you can just check out the prompts that I decided on the final images to get the final prompts. But in this case of this video, we're just gonna, maybe generate one more row to see how this is going to look like. Also start the generation of the wine glass. Boom, let's upload the wine glass reference. Here we have our prompt. Yes, just like that. Just paste it in here. I'm gonna start this generation, and let's try to get an even more realistic look. So sometimes I'm then refining those prompts and say, those prompts already look good, but I want the color palette to be clean of the floating elements, and everything should match well positioned and framed, and make the image look like it's shot on iPhone. Because the original photo is an iPhone photo, and I want to keep everything in like an UGC iPhone kind of vibe to make it more realistic. But you can of course add here an Arri Alexa camera for a more cinematic look, or whatever your goal is with those prompts and those final images. So excuse my language here, but I think in terms of efficiency, I'm just gonna type it as quick as possible. Now I'm going to get the new prompts we can test out right away. So let's choose here the knife again, test the second prompt we have just created, paste it in, let's go. And it also created a second version for the wine glass prompt. So let's generate this one as well. Yes, just like that. Perfect. Great. So here we have our first results of the wine glass, and this looks really good. Like, honestly, like this looks really, really good. And for the vegetables, probably this one. This one looks pretty good. Well, like this is a super clean shot. You see here those imperfections on the knife look super realistic. So upscale the both of my favorites that I have. So I'm just click on the image here, and I'm clicking here on upscaling. Yes, I'm gonna upscale this one. Which one? Oh, this one is pretty good too. I feel this one looks, for the proportion, looks a little bit better. All right, so here are the results for the rework prompt. And to be honest, I actually like the first version better. So we're gonna go with this one here as well. I like the first version better. Like here now, it's doing weird things. So I think the first version was great. You can now then experiment and describe more of how you want the frame to look like. I think this is really important. In the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna go with these frames. But for the actual edit I did, this was like a process of 1 hour, going back and forth, reworking the prompt here, then generating it, seeing what looks good, how can I improve. That's how I came up with making the glass look wet and like iced cool. This is how you get all those details here. So don't stop at the first generation. I see this a lot, like creators or people using AI, they just throw in one prompt and they don't really art direct this. Like this is all about creativity and your creativity. So I really want to encourage you to go back and forth and really try things that are usually not possible, but with AI suddenly become possible. So make sure to rework and really spend the time on your generations to make them as good as possible. Here I think it didn't start the upscale. I'm gonna just quickly do this again. This is all we need. Then we have our 2 upscaled images, and we can then start to animate and generate our first videos. All right, so now I'm switching here on the bottom left to video, and here we can upload our start and end frames. So for the start frame, I'm going to use the wine glass, the iPhone image, and for the end frame, I'm going to upload the wine glass, the version 2, the sick product shot. And now we want to create a cool camera motion. Claude actually helped me as well. So I'm uploading both of the image here into Claude and describe what I want to happen. So now please write me a video generation prompt starting. First frame is the empty wine glass in the hand. The hand should release the glass and it drops on the floor. On the drop, it gets filled up, and the splash and floating elements elements appear. So here I'm trying now to describe the video as best as possible. This is just a quick description to see how it's going to look, how it's going to feel, and then we can revise and rework the prompt from there. But I think this is a great start. And as always, the more information you are giving here to the prompt, the better it's going to look. Cinema Studio 2 video is amazing because now we have a lot of functions here on which you can play around with. As the director panel, you can create characters and objects, which can really help as well. You can actually set movements. So we can actually here choose a preset for a movement. If you want to go down, we can choose that movement like a jib down. So we can select that. Or you go with auto movement because Higgsfield is going to analyze your prompt and then based on the prompt, just give it an auto movement. And you can actually create speed ramps here. But I like to do it custom in After Effects. But if you're not that comfortable with speed ramps, play around here with the speed ramps. You have a lot of cool presets here for speed up, slow-mo, linear, whatever you want to create. And you can now also set the duration, which I think is great. If you just want to have a 3-second clip, you can set that here. But I'm going for 5 seconds and I'm going to start generating now. While it's generating, I want to do the same for a knife. So I'm going to upload the base image and also the AI generation. Now do the same for the knife, hand releasing the knife, and it drops into the wood board, and on the drop the floating elements appear. Perfect. So hopefully we're now getting good prompt out of that as well. All right, perfect. So now we have the prompt and I'm just going to copy paste it in here. Make sure to change your start and end frame. So this is our knife. And when you upload it once, it's going to be saved here in your library and you can just select it from there. And this one we haven't uploaded yet. So I'm going to select this shot for the end frame. Then we're going to hit generate on this shot as well. Let's go. So while those generating, I want to show you how I created this cool bullet time around the object and the floating elements mid-air. So this is actually a preset that comes from Higgsfield. You can find this here when you just click on create video and you can browse it through all of the presets here, which come with Higgsfield DOP. And on Higgsfield DOP, just go to Epic Camera Control. And here you have the bullet time preset. Just select it. And then we can upload our knife image. Just upload it as a first frame. We don't need an end frame on this one. And make sure enhance prompt is on. Just like that, you can hit generate. And it's going to create a super sick bullet time around the object and the floating elements. Like this is just such an incredible preset to have because I really tried to create that prompt for the bullet time custom, but it never worked as good as the preset. So this is great. Let's start also the generation for the bullet time for the wine glass. So I'm just going to select the image as the first frame and just hit generate here as well. All right, so now we have a lot of videos generating. One is missing because I want to create a cool transition from this wine glass up to the hand. We can do exactly the same again using Claude AI or your LLM of your choice. So I'm uploading the wine glass here and I want to transition to the shot of the knife. So here I'm explaining now the camera movement that I want to happen. So for the next video generation, I need a prompt for super smooth camera motion starting with the wine glass shot as the first frame, all the way first frame, smooth camera motion all the way up to the hand holding the knife. So let's try if this works. And for that shot, I'm actually going to jump back into Cinema Studio. And I'm going to use here Cinema Studio again, because I think the quality is just insane. So the first frame is going to be the wine glass, as we just described. And the next is going to be the knife. So we want to go from this frame to that frame, right? Here, let's copy the prompt and just paste it. So this is, again, a super complex prompt, right? And sometimes I actually made the experience that a simple prompt, a short prompt, works even better. So let's try this out. Instead of this super long, fancy prompt, I'm just going to write smooth camera motion. Like that is it. And let's generate this one as well and see which one turns out better. And so let's see how this is look. Yes, this is really good. Boom. Here you can see the background changes. So the backpack is going away because I didn't really pay too much attention to the details here. So to avoid this kind of warp that the backpack is floating away, I will need to go back and actually change the last frame so the backpack is actually in that frame as well. But I think this shot is just great. Oh well, we have a weird wobbling there. So maybe this one could look better. Speed ramped. Yes. This one is pretty clean too. And the fourth one warps a bit more. But I like how the liquid is floating out here. So, but I might go with this one here. So I'm going to download this shot. This is going to be our shot for the wine glass. Let's see the knife. Yes, not bad. All right, not bad either. So here I want that knife to be centered at all times. So I just go back. Please rework the knife prompt. So the knife is centered in camera at all time while flying down to the wood board. So so I just want to rework that prompt so the knife is centered all the time and the camera parallel goes down with the knife, because I think that just looks way better. So we're gonna have the prompt here. If you want to rerun something, I think it's really important to know you don't have to upload everything again. You can just click here on the first frame, boom, it jumped in here. Last frame, boom, should jump in here. Yes. And you can also copy the prompt like that if you click on something, as you just saw. So this saves you a lot of time, I think. So this is important to know. I'm going to copy the new prompt. I'm going to paste it in here and hit generate. And let's see if this one turns out better. Let's check our bullet time now. This one is done. So this is always first shot. Like, this is perfect. Look at that. I mean, this is just such a cool effect. Yeah, that's the one. Downloading this one right away. And how is the knife? Oh, the knife looks pretty cool as well. Yeah, also with you see the tomato here, which is kind of a little bit closer to the camera and really realistic. So yeah, but maybe I would give this one another try. So rerun it so we can see how another version of that could look like. And yes, now it's really important when you download all of your stuff that you are naming everything. So this one is, which one is that? This is the wine glass bullet time. Great. And this is the wine glass drop. Perfect. Wine glass drop. So now we have our first clips that we can start working with inside After Effects. So, but I'm always creating a project folder, keep everything as structured as possible. So this is going to be tutorial product, shots. Perfect. I'm going to get everything in here. I always would recommend you to keep everything as organized as possible. I'm not going to do this here, like I don't want to borrow you, but like this is the folder structure I'm following right now, which I think is great. Now let's just create an After Effects folder, maybe a content folder. So this should be enough. Now we're going back into After Effects and let's maybe start a new project so I can show you how to create a new project. Perfect. So this is a new project. When you open up After Effects, it's going to look like that. Command I. Just like that, I'm going to import my content. I just can import my content folder here. Oh, well, there's nothing inside. So first of all, of course, we need to move our stuff to the content folder. Now we can import it just like that. Yes, perfect. So first thing we want to do is create a composition. So we drag on this clip here. I always create a composition for each clip. This is just cleaner. It's just how I like to work. You don't have to do this, but I would recommend it. And this composition, I then drag onto the new composition icon as well. I'll drag this one out and call this one main composition. This way you can create quite fast. And you can see here, this is going to be exactly the same frame size and frames per second FPS as the original clip, which is super important. Here, the length is probably not what I'm looking for. I want a longer composition. So all you have to do is go to composition settings, and then here, change the duration to, let's say, 15 seconds. So we have some time. Perfect. So this is our first clip. Boom. This is the wine glass dropping. And here we can actually, add the second clip as well. So we have one continuous movement. This is how we build our story. And here you can see the frame size doesn't match. And the shortcut for that is just Option Command F to make it full screen. So now it's going to match. Perfect. You can also upscale those videos in between to get better quality, of course. Now it's time to create the speed ramps. Usually I choose the music first to then speed ramp onto the music. Let's focus on speed ramping right now without the music. So you just get the idea of speed ramping. So I just did a right click, time, enable time remapping, bring this one closer. And this way we speed up the entire clip, but we want to have a smooth curve to start this to speed up slowly and then come back down. So we go here to the speed graph and we just drag this one down to 1 second. This one as well. So here you can see this looks way better. Boom. I think this looks super cool actually, just like that. And I'm just gonna drag this one closer. And here I want to speed ramp as well. So we go to time and enable time remapping. Bring this one closer. And now we bring this one down to 1. If you don't see the graph like that, you can just right click and make sure edit speed graph is checked. You might be in the edit value graph, which is also great, but I just prefer the edit speed graph. So this is just a personal preference. And just like that, yes. Boom, we have a 6 shot. Here you can see the color slightly changed. So sometimes what I do is I apply a Lumetri color effect, which you can find here in the effects tab. I'm using FX Console here from Video Copilot. That's the best plugin ever for After Effects. It's just a side effect. And here, let's say, I think the shadows are a little bit down here. You can see the shadows. Yeah. So I might just get the shadows down a bit. So this should actually match better then. You can spend some time here on matching the color. This usually helps to just make it feel smoother. Perfect. And then I want to go back again. So I want to like have the bullet time to the right and then go back to our first frame again. So I extend the clip and I can just copy the first keyframe here, go to the end and paste it. So then it goes back again. Perfect. Now we have a black screen here, which sucks, but as a quick fix, just go the speed graph here and make sure you're smoothing everything. And now here on the time remapping, you can go back and forth. And this way you can go 1 frame back and now it's fixed. And we have that smooth back and forth speed ramp, which I think looks great. And now to smooth everything even more, we're going to create a new adjustment layer and call this one motion blur. And we're going to apply motion blur to this. So it's CC Force Motion Blur. You can just search it here as well. CC Force Motion Blur and then drag it on. And right away, you can see here, because we changed the speed, After Effects automatically applies motion blur. And this makes a big difference. Look at that. This looks so much better. Let me make this a little bit bigger, just like that. This looks so much better. When we're playing back now, boom. And you have that speed ramp. We need to see motion blur, right? So that's what this effect is for. All right, perfect. So I think we're done here for now. So let's jump back into Higgsfield. Yes, yes, this is really good. I like how it stays in the air for a second and then goes down. It's like a slow-mo shot. Boom. This is really powerful. All right, and now we're going to do the transition between the wine glass going up to the knife. So we have a clean loop, and let's also get in our prompt for the transition. So we have the wine glass here up to the knife. Let's generate it, and let's also try the smooth shot here. Smooth camera motion. Let's try this generation as well. Cool, perfect. And now let's check the bullet time, if the second bullet time looks better. Oh yeah, I like this one even better. Oh no, the knife is tilting back. So I don't like that. I want it to be like straight. So we're gonna go with the first one, which is this one here, which is totally fine. Like this works just here. We're gonna go back to After Effects, to our project, and we are going to import the knife and the knife bullet time. And now we're going to make this comps. Perfect. And on the main comp here, we have the knife bullet time, drag it in, and we have the knife. Great. So the only thing missing here is our transition part. You can also label clips, which I think is great. So just select it, label it. And here we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to go right click, time, enable time remapping, bring this one closer to create the speed ramp. Yes, this is cool. So just like that, maybe. So we drop it. Maybe it can be even faster at the beginning. So this way we're going to create, for this case, we're going to create a speed graph like that. Yeah, I think this is cool. Something like that. Maybe even faster at the beginning. So I'm going to cut this clip and bring this one closer. As you know, now Option Command F for like full screening it. Time, enable time remapping, bring this one closer. And now speed ramp this part as well. So we have the bullet time speed ramped just like that. Boom. And we want to go back again, right? So we go left. And now we're going to copy the first keyframe, paste it here. Yes. Now we're going to open up the speed graph again. And we are going to drag this one up. So we're going to make this smooth as butter. Go one frame back here. What's the last frame before it turns black? Is here. Yeah, perfect. Just like that, we have recreated the same speed ramps for this shot, which is great. And now the only thing missing is our transition from the wine glass up to the knife to create that seamless camera motion. And now we have here the generations for the transition. This is the complex prompt, and it seems that it's not working that good. Oh, yes. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Yes, we can speed ramp this really well. So the camera goes up. Yeah, perfect. So here you can see it's not always the complex prompts that work the best. So I would always try a complex prompt and a shorter, simpler prompt, because as you can see here, this shorter one works way better. So let's download this clip. I like this one a lot. This is our transition. We're going to get this into our folder, into our content. We're going to import this one into After Effects. Here, this is our transition. Come here. We're going to create a new composition for that clip. And we go into our main composition. We don't need the others. And we're going to place it here in between our clips. Let me label it so it's more clear. So this is the green one. We're going to right click here as well. Time, enable time remapping. Bring this one closer. I want this to happen super quick. We're going to bring in the other clips as well. So it's quicker. So we just sped this one up. And here we don't even need a speed ramp because this is already looking pretty sick. Let's see how it looks with a ramp, not just linear speed. So boom. Yes. Also cool, but I think I like the linear even more here. Yes, we can also bring in the out point so we can see a clean loop. And this is how you create this type of content, how you turn your simple iPhone or smartphone shots into epic product shots and bring them to life with sick camera movement. And I think this worked out super well, so I'm super excited to make more content of this type. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would really appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so I can create more content of this type and explain you really in depth how I create this tutorial. Yes, with that being said, I can't wait to see you in the next one.